Hello, everybody. Time for more Fatal 12. Fatal dozen, almost Fatal 2 dozen. This should be episode 20 if I'm not mistaken. We're getting right back into things, and things are starting to move quite a bit. This next election period is going to be very interesting. We've had illusions that Federico is going to be gunning for Odette, while Scale guns for Maharu. I don't know why they would gun for Maharu over Alan. I was just kind of weighing that over in my mind in the few days between this recording session and the last recording session. I get that they want to take out Maharu at some point. I guess it makes sense because she has Alan's card, his cause of death. But still, you'd think they'd be prioritizing him because I can't imagine he's been inactive. I suppose it's entirely possible that when this next election period rolls around, he's done literally nothing. He's been completely just not a single person elected for, that would be what, 3 weeks? Ever since Shigetsugu. He'd have voted out Shigetsugu, then it would have been nobody gets voted out, then Rinka voted out you. And that's the week we're on now, and next week is just going to have nothing, even after Scale went and complimented his information network so much. I don't know about that. But I have a funny feeling that we're going to be shooting for Maharu voting out Odette. And I wonder if somebody will be willing to vote out Maharu when she does that, because it means Odette gets to live another week. If someone's going to challenge Maharu, which would be Federico, but I don't see that happening. And even if he did, I mean, Maharu got one up over on Odette when there was a challenge. You think she's not going to be able to handle that worm of a man of Federico? I mean, come on. And then I wonder if Rinka is going to take out 12 to prevent Maharu from getting voted out. That could also be interesting, and honestly, that seems really likely, considering I'm pretty sure Maharu has his cause of death card. Because if Maharu knows she's going to get voted out, or is likely to get voted out, and she should, because Odette told her as much when they were out walking in the park, then I can't see her not going to Rinka and spending a little time together to just prepare her. I don't think it would be very cool to let Rinka know that was going to happen in the Court of Fate. That would be something of a bombshell to drop out of nowhere, and that would not be cool. Maharu would say something ahead of time. And then Rinka would speak up and say, we got to do something about Scale. You know, it shouldn't be that hard. I already have his regret. And then Maharu's going to be like, wait, what? I don't know if that's how it's going to play out, but I have a sneaking suspicion. That's going to be my prediction. Maybe very little happens this election, but I find it very hard to believe that we're going to vote out 2 people, and they're going to be Odette and Maharu, and there's just going to be no fuss and bother about it. Odette's way too sneaky and cunning for that. Frankly, Maharu's way too sneaky and cunning for that. So let's see how things actually play out, shall we? I'm not sure if we'll make it to the election during this recording session. That would be nice. But I also wonder what traction Naomi is going to get on these gods. Maybe that'll be a reason to stop people from voting others up, although I really doubt it. I really don't think that's going to be the case. But that's got to be something too, because we're only on week 8 of the elections. There's 4 weeks left. That's a lot of weeks. We got to fill that with something, and it's not going to be very tense if there's only, 4, 3, 2, 1 people playing. We'll see. I've yammered on for long enough. Ah, yes, this is the other thing. We ended on Maharu calling Naomi to the rooftop. So let's see what this is about. They face one another under a cloudy sky, from which it seems rain will pour any minute. Not only is it rare for Maharu to call on Naomi, no kidding, but Naomi also has nothing but bad memories of speaking to Maharu alone. Man, are we going to find out about some history with these two? Is that going to come up here? And again, that begs the question, why? Why is Maharu deciding, okay, we need to chat? Is this going to be prompted by what Odette said? Most likely. Did you need something from me? Naomi poses her question to Maharu, who remains silent. I remember what I said to you before we all went to the theme park outside of Lion House. That's why I can't blame you for actively avoiding me. Ah, did she, tell Naomi to back off because she had her eyes on Rinka? It's like, don't get in my way. Is that where this started? I wasn't trying to. No, that's not true. I was avoiding you. I'm going to flash back to that. We're going to flash back to a conversation. The event Maharu refers to took place on May 5th, the day following the juncture of causality. So the day after they all died. Yeah, the day all 12 participants' deaths were undone. Maharu had made her way to Lion House in order to see Rinka. Doing so would allow her to reaffirm that she's truly alive, while also giving her the opportunity to remind Rinka about going to the theme park. This is when Mao and Naomi were there. Miharu had prepared herself to delve into the details of divine selection once they had gone. Not long after leaving Lion House, she came across Naomi. Oh, look at that cute green outfit. So the day after the okay, maybe I'd have to go back and check the exact dates, because it may be the actual day of that we sat here with Mao and Naomi, and then the day after was when Naomi came over in her little cute green outfit, because we're going to start teaching her how to make coffee. That might be the timeline. Naomi spoke to Maharu without thinking twice. They were still on speaking terms. Maharu, on the other hand, remained silent after turning to face her. You're making me nervous. Tell me, do you like Rinka? Well, that's an opening line. Huh? Well, I really look up to her and think she's a great upperclassman, but... Is that all? Then please stop trying to steal her away from me. Man, she is upset. Steal her away? I love Rinka, not as a friend, but as a woman. Maharu promptly took her leave following that exchange. Yeah. Naomi would end up making her way into Lion House afterward, full of nothing but frustration. I understand why you acted like that now, though. You had already become a participant in Divine Selection, hadn't you? I can't get upset knowing that. My feelings aren't shallow enough that you could understand that. Maharu, you don't need to be a bitch. Come on. Maharu puts a wall between herself and Naomi as the latter attempts to get closer. She quickly realizes it too, covering her mouth with her hands as a sign of remorse. Yeah. Did I read that right? Did you regret saying that? I hope so. It's no secret that I don't like you. Blunt as always. Your personality aside, you kept taking time I could spend with Rinka from me. Time that is rather valuable, to be fair, but at the same time, come on, you don't need to be petty. Rinka has other friends. Okay. I mean, if you want to spend time with Rinka, you can stop running around with your, 2 or 3 alliance groups that you're not even contributing anything to. Maharu's words are as blunt as they come. Naomi can only direct her gaze toward the floor. Not simply by virtue of Maharu being her senior. This is the first time anyone has outright stated their disdain for her, yeah. So what is the purpose of this meeting other than to just roast Naomi exactly? It was just me, Rinka, and Mao during our first year here. Mao knew I was in love with Rinka too. Alright, cave woman. So she made sure to give us space whenever possible. Then you appeared. You used your position as Rinka's underclassman and that innocent personality of yours to draw her attention. That's not true at all. You knew my feelings for her, but you couldn't care less. In fact, you even used divine selection as a means to get even closer to her. I tried to keep my distance precisely because I knew your feelings, but Rinka kept insisting that I join. You became someone truly important to her, though. I was left by the wayside. Well, maybe if you contributed something, instead of just, casting magic spells on pancakes, like you could have been doing the research that Naomi was doing. Do you not know how to read? Naomi finds herself asking why she has to put up with this. You don't. Tell Miharu to get bent and, go read 20 books at the library. Feel better. Even so, she isn't the type to grow angry and argue back. Also, where is this going, Miharu? You called her up here just to be a jerk? All she can do is attempt to make Miharu realize she's misunderstanding things. Is that the reason you called me up here? If so, what do you expect me to do? The clouds looming overhead cast their shadows down, thicker and darker than before. The humidity in the air is almost crushing. I don't want you to do anything. Just stay the way you are. But I'd rather do something if my presence is upsetting you. The thing about my dislike for you is that it's only outmatched by my dislike for myself. I'm far too jealous and nasty. Yes! Yes, you are! Like, seriously, Naomi needs to kind of give you a slap right now. She won't, because she's Naomi, but still. The more I realize that I take after my awful parents, the more I find myself wishing I was dead. Okay, so... yeah, I mean, that doesn't make things better. But at least she's self-aware. And knows where this is coming from. Maharu speaks coldly, taking off the glove on her left hand and shows her wrist to Naomi. A number of scars are visible. None seem recent, but the implication is clear. Yes! Okay. This is something I actually forgot to mention at the beginning of the video. I put some thought to this too, and I was complaining last video, and I've complained before. Why are Naomi's scars not healed? And I realized, it was kind of headcanon at the time, and I feel like the game actually just confirmed it. Those aren't necessarily the scars from when she actually took her own life. Maybe she was just cutting herself. Just is not the word I should be using there. Maybe she was cutting herself. Maybe she had attempted suicide more than once in the past, and she had been unsuccessful. And then either, she may not even have taken her own life in that manner. She may have overdosed on some pills or something. We have no idea. We just know the implication is she took her own life, and we have that pretty much confirmed by the conversation with Odette last stream, or last video. I also started thinking that because of Odette's comments about wearing long gloves at work, and that being some sort of special arrangement, as well as wearing long sleeves and gloves, even around other people, and nobody seemed to comment on that. It wasn't like anything was... any to-do was made about her having to arrange it at work or anything like that. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. But it kind of gave me the impression that, okay, maybe she's been hiding those scars for a lot longer than the past couple of months. So, okay, I can get that. So if the scars aren't ones she died by, if they're ones she died with because they were there before, they would be an indicator of her cause of death without actually being her cause of death. I think that's what the game is going for. And if that's the case, then okay, I get it. I'll follow that. And again, I feel like the game just sort of confirmed that for me, so... alright, fair enough. Moving on. This should make my cause of death obvious. It was no accident that I died. I chose that path for myself, and thus I shouldn't have the right to live. Maharu... I guess it always has the name Maharu, but the voice actor always says Senpai. She then immediately puts her glove back on. All that follows is a self-pitying smile toward Naomi. I may be a terrible person, but my death would only upset Rinka. I can't allow that. I'm never too comfortable around you, and I doubt that'll change, but even so, I would be sad if you died too. Just the idea of that happening scares me. I doubt I even need to say how sad Mao would be. So tell me, who is targeting you? Oh, okay. Is this Naomi wanting to help, or is this the idea Maharu had in the first place? Never mind. It was not the idea in the first place, or maybe she just didn't expect her to be forthwith about it. Naomi's question takes Maharu by surprise. However, it helps to put everything into perspective. It is doubtless that Naomi has spent every passing moment thinking about divine selection, all for Rinka's sake. This is precisely why Naomi could zone in on what Maharu wanted to get across with this conversation. You told me all this because you know Rinka will do everything she can to protect you, didn't you? It's Numeral II, Scale Jones. I know both his name and his cause of death. Okay, confirmed. Go talk to Rinka. Vote his ass out. You got this. If you don't talk to Rinka, I'm going to be so pissed. I know both his name and his cause of death. Beauty. Maharu gives Naomi a brief rundown of what Odette told her. Naomi listens fervently, showing no concern over the fact that Maharu has just made her dislike for her clear. I mean, Naomi's a good bean. It's obvious what she wants. Maharu will search on her own as much as possible, but she also wants Naomi's assistance. Talk to Rinka! Oh, Naomi knows this? Did I forget that conversation, or did it just come up off-panel? Things might work out better than you think. Rinka already has Numeral IX's regret card in her possession. Let's see Maharu's reaction to this. Really? Really? It says gold medal, but a card won't materialize just by hearing that, right? Yeah, we kind of established that last video too. I'm not sure. That seems like it was shoehorned in, but, you know, I'll allow it for now. It's as you say. Don't worry, though. I've met him personally, so knowing that should be enough. The clouds begin to part and the blue sky brightens the land once more. Yes, Maharu is such a horrible person. She literally summons clouds with her anger and disdain and stuff. Maharu's face is lit up by rays of sunlight. This is not sunlight music game. You can switch the soundtrack now. Thank you, Naomi. You're far stronger than most would give you credit for. That said, Maharu makes her way inside. Naomi's surprise over the turn of events leaves her unable to follow suit for a moment. Maharu's not wearing a suit. Scale still hasn't called us over for today's meeting. Are we Federico again? I mean, Federico could also be just doing other stuff. I mean, everyone's lying to everyone about who's getting targeted, so it wouldn't surprise me if there were shenanigans on shenanigans here. That's probably Federico. Just sitting here getting wasted, eh? Odette's gonna come in and beat your ass just for fun. I couldn't settle down, though, so here I am drinking away at Milk Crown. Some Japanese whiskey's my choice of drink for today. Clearly not Maharu. The name's one simple kanji. I can read it thanks to having my card book on me, but I forget the name itself thanks to not being too familiar with it. Which reminds me, haven't touched wine for quite a while. I can't imagine this is Odette. Never mind, it is definitely not Odette, so it is Federico. I was always with Odette whenever I had it, so it'd probably bring back memories of her now. And I gotta be honest, I don't mind drinking and arguing over stuff with her. Still, I'm the one who betrayed her. What kind of dumbass gives themselves a guilt trip about it at this point? I don't got time for that. I want to live. What I did was the right choice to make that happen. I already have her cause of death. It's just a matter of time before I get her regret, too. If this ain't things going smoothly, then I don't know what is. All I gotta do is take care of that asshole Alan afterwards. No one can touch me now that I've partnered up with Scale. Oh, you're next, buddy. You're gonna vote out Odette. Your plan is to vote out Odette, and Scale's gonna vote out Maharu. Next, you're gonna vote out Alan, and Scale's gonna vote out you. You watch. And then it's just gonna be Scale and Rinka sitting there. Of course, that's not what's actually gonna happen, but what Federico thinks is gonna happen ain't gonna happen either. There we go. Odette has arrived. So how do you plan to deal with Scale, dumbass? Or did you not think that far ahead? Whoa! But Odette is nowhere to be seen. What? Is she hiding behind the counter? Is she listening in on his cell phone? Did you butt dial her? I tut at myself again. I might be drunk, but that's no excuse to let myself hear things. That's something she'd say, though, no doubt. Is he literally... Wow. Federico, you sad sack. Odette was there when I partnered up with Scale. I figured I'd be able to handle it myself afterwards. Yet here we are, and all I have is his name. You don't got a clue about my cause of death or regret, though. Chances are Odette knows about the former by now. It only makes sense, considering I know hers. I'm the one who's going to elect her, though, so there's no risk of him obtaining any of my cards. In fact, Odette might already know his information. That'd be good. Thinking that, I order another whiskey on the rocks. Okay, so yes, she is there, and she's just messing with him because she's Odette. Nah, he ain't having that. Let me order for him instead. And just a who the hell do you... Odette! What's it like drinking on your own, punk? Odette plants herself on the seat beside me before ordering a bottle of some French red wine. I can't help but stare at the deep red liquid cascades into the glass. Its lustrous color almost puts me in a daze. I gotta say, while Italy may have the best food and wine, France is a close second. That fact never changed, not even after backstabbing Odette. Let's kick this meeting off with some small talk, alright? A bit hard when I don't got anything to say to you in the first place. So I say, yet we end up talking about all sorts of stuff while enjoying our wine. We'd been working together for over a month. I'd gotten accustomed to chatting away with her. Kind of hard to drop that habit cold turkey. You had a thing for me, didn't you? Odette brings an odd topic out of nowhere right about the time we finish our first bottle. Man, Odette would be a master of pattern interrupts if she ever learned how to do conversational hypnosis, because good lord. You can hear the brakes screeching every time she does that. Sure sounds like something a kid in school would say. I ain't no kid, though. That won't be enough to throw me off. Don't flatter yourself. Ain't no freedom with a woman like you. Really? To me, it seems like you've gotten used to being on my leash. Almost like you've been in a similar relationship once before. Now you're just talking crazy. You and her ain't nothing. You gave it away. You gave it away. You gave it away. This is Odette we're talking about here. She can listen to, like, the most random response you make and have a bunch of conclusions that she jumps to, and she's usually right. I cut myself off before glaring at her. I shouldn't drink all that wine. The flickering lights in here are starting to piss me off. You set me up, didn't you? See you later. Put the bill on his tab for me. Odette wastes no time in leaving the bar. Yeah, I got the information I need. See you later, loser. I feel my entire body shaking, wine glass still in hand. She did it. The shock of what just happened sobers me right up. Yeah, she got the... That's related to your regret, isn't it? Isn't it? Now I see why she came here in the first place. As if it wasn't immediately obvious to everyone who's been watching this for 20 episodes. She's dug up my past, which means she knows about my regret. She came here just to tell me that. I slammed the money down on the table before throwing the barn door open and running out. Damn you, woman! Tackle her. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's gonna play out the exact same way Ro tried to bargain. She's just going to kick your ass across the room, laugh, and then go get something to eat. Ah, damn it! I can't hold my frustration in as I get back to my hotel. I kick the sofa over and chuck pillows at the bed. What is this going to help? I'm just letting all my anger spill it. Oh, fine. All right. This ain't good at all. Scale better have the info I need, otherwise I'm screwed. I can fend her off so long as I've got all the info I need on. Okay, how is this? Okay, hang on a second. So if Maharu votes out Odette, she can't vote out Feder. She can't really vote out any... Actually, no, that's not true, because they don't have her info yet. I was going to say, she comes later on the wheel, so anything she does is going to get undone if she gets voted out. But if she's got Federico's cards and no one else has hers, except Miharu, and Miharu has a plan. Odette went to her, and we don't know what that plan was yet. Is she going to vote out Odette? I doubt that if Odette has Federico's cards. Or is she going to give those cards to someone else and give them enough info to generate their own cards to get this done? Either way, I predicted Federico would be the next one out. I have a feeling I'm going to be right. Someone else may get voted with him. Probably Scale. Hopefully Scale. But Federico, yeah, your Peking duck is cooked, my friend. I can fend her off so long as I've got all the info I need on. I catch myself mid-panic. You know that won't be enough, damn it. Am I going to go down without ever besting her? Assuming we end up electing each other, chances are we'll cause a standstill. I mean, that's what happens, right? We still haven't seen that play out. The cards that we both hold will disappear as a result, meaning we won't be able to carry out any elections in the future. Is that what happens? So if you have each other's full 3 cards, you just are immune to each other? And again, what happens when we're all immune to each other? And I'll just be living in fear of her. Now I know what I need to do. I gotta eliminate her, no matter what. I mean, how are you gonna do that if she has your 3 cards? You just said. It's vital to me. Okay, well, how are you gonna manage this? If I can surpass Odette, then I can crush Scale as well. Sorry, dude, you're a loser. All you're good for is hitting on Miharu badly. That's the conclusion I reach as I clean up the room that I just trashed. Yeah, this is not the most constructive use of your time, my friend. I'm not sure you have a constructive use of your time, but there's got to be something better than that. Back to Rinka. Boy, we have not actually spent a whole lot of time with Rinka after you got elected out. It barely feels like she's the main character at this point. Meanwhile, though, let's see what she's been up to. I spent the rest of yesterday reading through what I'd grabbed from the library after closing up shop for the day. This time around, we, and by we she means her and Naomi, focused on material with information about old book designs, but nothing of note stood out. Ah, that's what she meant by design. That word confused me last video. There wasn't anything too reminiscent of the design on our card books. I'm just getting started, though. I never expected to find something right off the bat, did you? Oh, okay, you didn't, and you're not letting it get to you. Alright, that's fine. With that in mind, I head over to the bathroom to wash my face. That's it? That's our whole spiel? Maharu? Scale finally rounds us up 2 days after Odette came by to chat. Oh, are we, Federico again? Oh, yeah, we're Federico again. Maharu's with us, too, but she's as cold as ever. Ah, that cold bitch. I'm gonna die in 2 days. Come on, give me one night. That's the gist of it. This should do well to back up our thoughts regarding Odette's regret. Odette's regret? I just realized that rhymed, dude. Man, is that neat? Is that groovy? Scale closes his explanation with a heavy tone. Odette's regret. Regret of Odette. He told us about Odette's past. Ah, we get to find out a little more. Born on a family farm, her mother passed away not too long after her birth. No one knows for sure whether or not the despair of losing his wife drove her father insane. Regardless, it's a fact that Odette suffered abuse by his hand. Aww. The abuse she received not long after hitting puberty resulted in a particularly drastic consequence. Oh, don't tell me this is going where I think it's going. Her body became unable to sustain a child. As a result of abuse by her father? Tell me Odette killed him. Seriously. That reality must have crushed Odette. She left her father at the brink of death through the use of the tools on their farm before moving abroad. There we go. Okay. Little natural-born killer origin story here. She made it a point to live by a port in order to erase her memory of farm life. There she met a man in charge of a shipping company, which led to her spending most of her days at sea. The man took quite an interest in her, similar to how she considered him akin to a parent. Her hearty personality and knack for the job quickly led to her being regarded as a fine member of his crew. None on the ship were aware that Odette's recklessness was spurred on by a lack of attachment to her own life, though. Odette's regret only grew as she aged, so she made an effort to work hard and enjoy the present as much as possible. Granted, all of that is just prerequisite information in regards to learning her actual regret. She's just been running from her regret this whole time. Oh, her father's still alive, damn. What state did she leave him in? I got the impression from that little spiel that he died. Looks like your father's still alive. She even managed to speak to him directly, it seems. Of course, the trauma from his own daughter's attack on him took its toll. Apparently he's in a mental hospital now. Okay, so she got her revenge at least. Maharu kept her head down the entire time Scale was talking. It must hit close to home, considering they're both women. Yeah, Maharu hasn't exactly had the best upbringing either. Giving birth, huh? Yep, there's the card. We got it. That's it? You needed that story to... I came up with that last video, I'm pretty sure. Giving birth, yeah, couldn't give birth. Oh, look, the regret. So, yep, there's the card. We got it, so... Now we're going to find out what happens when there's a tie. Because assuming Federico votes up Odette. If Scale votes up Odette, then Odette can't vote out Federico. But that also means Scale can't vote out Maharu. Of course, Rinka may do that anyway. Oh, this is going to be wild. There's going to be a whole bunch of rules lawyering coming up this next election. Parker's just going to be like, wait, let me get out my rule book. I need to check what happens in these circumstances here. 3 different people are trying to eliminate someone. Hang on. I gotta get out my Dungeon Master's Guide. It's a rather worthless regret for someone who mouths off as much as her. Scale mutters something to himself, but I can't quite catch it. More importantly, I've finally gotten hold of all her cards. Was that necessary for the plan that you guys discussed? Just looking at this new one has me giddy. I've done it. At last! Oh, no, this is Federico. I thought we were talking from Maharu's point of view. Yeah, this would make Federico happy, hell yeah. finally got all our cards. So Federico goes first on the clock, which means if they vote each other out, either it's a tie or Federico wins. Or Maharu votes Odette out, and then causes a conflict, and we'll see how that plays out. I try my best not to grin like an idiot. I don't give a damn about her past. That's not enough to change my view of her. I don't have a future to speak of if I can't surpass her. All that's left now is I can finally stand toe-to-toe with her. All that's left is to elect her. You think it's going to be that simple, but you're going to get punked again. She might elect me back, but I can't let that possibility stop me. I mean, what's going to happen? That friend of yours is quite something if they could gather that much information in just a few days. Thank you. A shame I can't tell you too much about the source, though. We'll be getting a bit too deep into my own identity. Oh, don't worry. We got your number already, Scaly Boy. Maharu responds with a quick nod. She looks pretty exhausted now that I take a proper look. Talk about putting a pretty face to waste. Don't you touch our precious little Maharu here. That said, she's right. I don't know who this friend of Scales is, but they gather intel like a beast. Don't tell me everyone's partnering with everybody. Don't tell me that they're not targeting Alan because Scales' informant is Alan. Watch that be the case. Watch it. That leads me to a thought. If this guy's got so many connections, then that means plenty of people know him. These two keep acting all calm and collected, but that ain't gonna last long. Once I surpass Odette, they're next. Yeah, you're not surpassing anything. I'll be very surprised if he gets one up on you. No. All right, we're getting close to election. We're at the halfway point for the video. Let's see if we can. If we do get to election, it may be a long one, and I may just keep going because I feel like it. We'll see. Saturday rolls around without anything resembling progress for us. Rinka, come on. I do what I can to reach the truth about divine selection, but there's far too much information out there regarding design concepts and stuff. I wouldn't focus on that. Doesn't help that I'm not too familiar with history in the first place. Part of me is ready to give up. I tried taking a picture of my card book and doing a reverse image search, but nothing worthwhile popped up. I'm honestly starting to feel like I'm at my limit, but I can't just throw in the towel. Surely there's an expert you can consult in this. If I can't think of any other methods, then I should stick to this way for now. Oh wow, Mao is way the hell off on the left there. This screen is going to be full. You getting enough sleep, Rinny? I got some during the first two periods. Probably not what she meant. I was going to say, now you're starting to sound like me. Keeping the store open has inevitably led to me losing sleep. Oh, maybe one of the regulars knows. My thoughts become words before I even realize it. The regulars at Lionhouse have all manner of jobs. Plenty of elderly people too, so one of them might know something. I know I don't have the luxury to stop now, which helps keep my priorities in check. She's done for. Mao's exasperated voice helps me in much the same way. Is Maharu here? Because if she does, I'll leave. I'll go right away. Yo, Naorin! Maharu took today off. Oh, thank God. Maharu's absences have been growing more and more frequent. She can't afford to miss too many days due to her scholarship, but I'm sure she's aware of that without me having to point it out. It's about time for us to head home. Want to head up Lion's house, Naorin? Been a while since we last did that. I'm surprised you're the one inviting her. Not that I mind. Well, I appreciate the invite. I'm a bit busy today, you see. Alright, got it. Guess I'll head over myself. Naomi offers an apologetic bow before leaving the classroom. Must be nice for one of the students in the school to own their own coffee shop. You just imagine that all the kids would pile in there. There's a school nearby where I live, and there's a fast food joint right across. Every day at noon, that place is just filled to the brim with teenagers. And right after school. Like Lion House should be. Mao's coming over to the Lion's house, though, so this will be the first time in a while that we both leave school at the same time. As for Naomi, she seems somewhat different today. Especially considering how nervous she tends to be whenever she visits our classroom. She's terrified every time she comes here, just in case Maharu is here. Oh, why are we joining Maharu? Naomi is coming here? Are we playing as Naomi? What is going to happen here? I barely remember what Maharu and Naomi were discussing. I mean, voting out Scale, obviously, but That should be a conversation of brainstorming between Maharu and Rinka to figure out those cards. To get one to get the other. To get Rinka to probably get the cause of death would be the easiest one. News of Maharu's absence is worrying Naomi. That is what prompts her to come here on her own. She has to be at work. This sounds like a Maharu perspective. No, these are... Maybe we're just... When we played as Naomi, we were third person, so maybe we're just doing that. Because we're third person for all these people in this sentence here right now. Naomi heard about how much Maharu worked from Rinka. That led her to assume that Maharu would have regular shifts scheduled, even in their situation. There's those... Wow! Maharu! Jesus! You're on the clock here. Show some professional... Maybe this is her character. I keep forgetting that these maid characters have actual characters. Is this just Tsundere Maharu? Welcome leave. Is this just how she greets everyone coming in and she just enjoys saying it because it's Naomi? Coincidentally enough, Naomi comes across Maharu the moment she enters. I have something I need to talk to you about. I'll be done in half an hour, so do you mind taking a seat? I can't guarantee you'll feel comfortable, though. Okay, I will. Thank you. Naomi takes a seat on her own. You are about to get hit on so hard. The male clientele direct their gaze toward her. Yep. Daru's ears perk up. Nani? Naomi fails to pick up on the jealousy felt by the others as they do so. Roughly half an hour later, Maharu returns in her school uniform and plops down in front of Naomi. Time has flown by for Naomi because she's had her face buried in a book the whole time. Maharu isn't comfortable discussing things with Naomi at her workplace as opposed to somewhere like Lionhouse, but she also knows she has no real alternative. Naomi braves a few quick glances at the other customers, confirming that neither Scale nor Federico are present. Is it safe to assume that you haven't been able to materialize Scale's regret yet? Naomi gets straight to the point. Have we talked to... Oh, no. She mentioned a gold medal already. Maharu knows what the card says. It's plain to see how exhausted Maharu looks. The bags under her eyes and absent-minded gaze are enough to tell her that Maharu has been sacrificing sleep for the sake of research. You're right. I've been searching sports-related things in relation to a gold medal, but nothing worthwhile's come up. Yeah, what would have come up? If this is a major thing, and to be fair, maybe it's not, then figuring out who Scale is shouldn't be that difficult if he's competitor enough to have been able to qualify for a gold medal in some area. At least a prestigious enough gold medal to generate a regret card. Huh. You'd think. I'm going to get eliminated next at this rate. If that happens, it's entirely possible that Scale will get a hold of Rinka's card. Shouldn't you ask Rinka about this? She may be able to help you, considering she formed an alliance with Odette and Alan before. Naomi has made sure not to tell Rinka about any of this until today. Naomi has made sure not to tell Rinka about any of this until today? Everything she mentioned, Rinka already knew. Wait, is that supposed to say Maharu? She understands that Maharu doesn't want Rinka worrying about her. Oh, she hasn't told Rinka that Maharu is going to get eliminated. You really kind of should. There's a limit to how far one can drag it out, though. It is Saturday, guys. Naomi knows having that attitude is how one can lose what's precious to them. In her own case, it was her life that she lost. She knows this better than anyone. Rinka should be able to do something. She was able to save even my life after all. I can't. Not just because I don't want her to worry, but because that could also lead to the other participants getting their hands on her information. Would it? Maharu's immediate answer pains Naomi. She casts her head down, shaking it multiple times. She doesn't want her feelings to pour out all at once. She wants to explain things bit by bit. That's why she takes her time before looking back up at Maharu. That's unimportant now. Rinka won't care about the risks. She'll do anything she can to help you, which is exactly why Maharu doesn't want her to know, right? I don't want to see her throw herself into danger either, but she's the type of person who's willing to do whatever it takes for what's important to her regardless. Seeing her work so hard hurts me too. It makes me wish I could help out more myself. Watching her suffer over losing you scares me even more. I wouldn't be able to handle it. Naomi's words take Maharu aback, a reminder of Rinka's despair over losing Naomi. Yeah, we can be friends. You don't have to be an enormous bitch about it. Maharu opted to work with Scale to eliminate Yu precisely because she couldn't handle seeing Rinka like that. However, Rinka put herself in significant danger to eliminate Yu. Yeah, she did. That's why Maharu is resolute in not wanting to allow that to happen again. But that's not all. The relief she felt over Rinka's joy that Naomi was alive was undeniable. The foundation of Rinka's happiness had become clear to her. Even so, if asked to balance my own life against hers... Now Maharu's gaze is the one cast downward. It isn't often for Naomi to see Maharu speak without confidence. That's why she puts every ounce of kindness she has into her next words. Grow up! Most importantly, I don't want things to continue like this. If you're eliminated, then all our time together will be undone as well. If that happens, then... She stops to take a deep breath before continuing. I'll cry so much that I'll shrivel up and die. Well, that'd be a shame. You don't mean that. Maharu notices that Naomi's attitude toward her has changed. Not to mention the fact that Naomi herself hasn't noticed. Maharu smiles and then nods her head. You might be the one who's changed the most out of us all. Let's go to Lion House later then. Yes, please discuss this. One of you needs to go into this election with all 3 of Scale's cards. Like, just surprise the ever-loving hell out of him and he's just like, what the crap? That's so ungroovy, man! Your tears don't have much effect on me, but upsetting Rinka certainly isn't something I want to do. Your tears don't have much... I don't really care if you're sad. You can cry over me being dead all you want. I don't give a damn. Oh, thank you. Maharu. Naomi offers her thanks to Maharu with a look of relief on her face. She finishes her previously ordered cafe au latte before brushing the tears from her eyes. It's not really a cafe au latte. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Who are you about to run into? It's going to be Odette again, isn't it? Just because she's everywhere. They make their way to Lion House together after that, or is it just going to be Rinka? No one's here. Uh-oh. Why is no one here at night? The lights are off, too. It's a bit early for her to have closed for the day. Who would do things? Alan would do things. Odette probably wouldn't do... Well, Odette's a wild card. Odette could do anything. Scale and Federico wouldn't... They might bother. They might be fast-tracking everyone else's cards as much as they can. They know they have Odette's. They know they have Maharu's. Why not spend the spare time they have going hard on getting everyone else's? This feels suspicious to Naomi, who had overheard Rinka and Mao's conversation earlier in the day. Part of her begins to worry that something's happened. What has happened? We got lots of time left in the video to why are we back here? I make my way over to the base we used to prevent Yu's attack the week prior. Is this Alan, or has Rinka come here for some weird reason? The desolate view and dry wind almost feel nostalgic. But to be more accurate, it's Odette who brought me here after showing up at Lion House. So it was Odette, the wild card. See, this is why I caught myself. I said, Odette wouldn't do this. Wait a minute. Yes, she would, because she's Odette. So we're Rinka, and we're back here. And why the hell are we back here? Odette's just going buck wild because she knows that Federico probably has her cards. So she's just like, F it. I'm just doing whatever now. It was my choice to come, so I can't quite say I got dragged out here. This is a 2-hour drive, Rinka. You got to come up with a better justification than that. Why is Alan still here? Why is this gang getting back together? Yo, Alan, what do you want? You been sleeping for the last week, Alan? Oh, haven't you heard? A little birdie told me that Scale's paparazzi friends have connections to you, too. Yeah, this next election is going to be kind of wild, I think. Things are going to go a little crazy. Odette told me very little on the way here. Yeah, because she's Odette. I'm going to get eliminated soon, ain't no changing it. So I want to settle things with you right now. That's about all she told me. What, are you guys going to have another fight? Alan remains silent, displaying as little emotion as ever. Settle things? That's right. We only got to fight the once at that old geezer's house, so I don't know which one of us is stronger. Why is this what's important? Your role here is to observe the result, Rinka. The first one to throw the towel loses, and it ain't gonna be me. What makes you think I would agree to this? I only fought you back then out of necessity. Who needs a reason? Technically, us lot can't spew that you only live once adage, but hey, enjoy this immortality while you can. Besides, ain't no chance you'll be able to bounce back if you run with your tail between your legs now. This is my last chance, so dance with me, kid. The cold tone through which Odette's words are delivered frightens me. Is Odette... I don't know, my gut still tells me that Maharu's going to vote out Odette and Rinka's going to vote out 9, Scale. And Alan is just like, what do you just... Would someone get this crazy woman away from me? I may know that she's easy to talk to now, but that cold-headed attitude of hers is still scary. Oh yeah, she's terrifying. Maybe this is the killing intent that gets mentioned in books and films. They're gonna fight! I've seen this in manga! There's one thing nagging at me, though. You're going to be eliminated? Why is that a surprise? Well, I mean, it's you, you know? There's no way I wouldn't be surprised. Maharu has told me plenty about both Federico and Scale, but I never thought they would be able to eliminate her. She may tread a thin line at all times, but I can't imagine her making a misstep. In fact, she's more likely to run full speed ahead, laughing all the while. Yet again, you feel compassion. How very like you. That's not quite it. You're awfully kind toward her yourself. I honestly find it hard to believe that she's going to be eliminated next based on her composure. But we know better. She brought it upon herself to say that this is her last chance, though. She must be fully prepared for what lies ahead. Odette is going to die. We're going to miss her. Odette's been fun. She's my enemy. I know that much, and yet I can't help but remember how we stopped you together and brought Naomi back. Yeah, technically these two did... Well, it's tough to say they'd help bring Naomi back. They did what they did at Tokyo Tower, but what really brought Naomi back was what you did alone at the train station, so let's not give them too much credit. I know Scale's regret. Okay, so what? You helped me once, so at the very least, you gonna make a point soon? Odette's just impatient as hell. Odette glares at me, her tone is dark. That alone prevents me from saying anything else. I don't got no issue starting with you if you're gonna try and humiliate me. That's not what I recommend you drop the soft-hearted attitude. Did you forget that I am here as well? Scale Jones's regret is information I seek. You're going to tell me it, whether it be by your own will or not. Oh, now you've spilt that. I mean, I'll be happy to tell you it. Why not? But just telling you it doesn't mean anything, because we already know that. You really are determined to have a reason first, huh? So now Alan has a reason to punch us, but not Odette? I gradually come to understand what they're talking about. My own exclamation has served as the spark Alan requires. He said he had no reason to fight Odette, but now he does. Why? Because he's going to win me telling him things? Oh! He wants to fight us, but Odette is like, okay, well, now you got to get through me. Guess I got what I wanted. Guess I'll fight to protect you, brat. I know no hesitation once my goal is clear. Did I tell you about the babies? Defeat Odette and get information regarding Numeral IX's regret out of me. That's the goal he has set his sights on. Rinka, you and your big mouth. I choose to observe their fight from outside the storehouse. They likely have guns on them, so it only makes sense to head outside before they start firing at one another. It's not like they're going to hurt you. I mean, they're going to hurt. They're not going to kill you. I might not die if I get caught in the crossfire, but I'd still get badly hurt. The walls should be thick enough to stop any stray bullets. I can't avert my eyes, though. I'm determined to see their fight through. It's their way of settling things. Odette likely doesn't need a proper reason. She's considered Alan a worthy foe and simply wants to beat him for her own satisfaction. I'd be lying if I said I understood that thought process. I guess Federico has much the same thought process. He wants to beat Odette. Maybe not physically, but at her own game. Regardless, I have to see this through. My reason is simple, too. This is a fight that encompasses the very life of Odette Malencon. Who won? I'd believe if Odette won. Damn. I'd also believe if this just kept going. 30 minutes later, the fight shows no sign of ending. Neither have been able to land any significant blows. So I assume they're trying to wear one another out. Their intent is made clear by their each and every action. I can't seem to take my eyes off them, not even for a second. I'm going to say Alan wins. I'm going to bet on Alan. I have no interest in martial arts and stuff, but I guess I understand the appeal of competitive fighting if it's as entrancing as this. Ugh. Not only have they both lost their guns by now, but they've also destroyed them. How'd they manage that? Yeah, exactly. How they managed that, I'll never know. I've handled one myself now, so I know precisely how sturdy they are. Yeah, they're kind of made of metal, guys. Both have blades on them, too, but even those have been broken. Good lord. The weapons seem almost useless, though. Not a single bullet or knife wound have been inflicted on either of them. Has this been random gunfire this whole time? Both are sweating profusely, but they clearly have much more left in their tanks. When is this going to end? Another 10 minutes pass. The music has changed. The exhaustion must have hit the both of them at the same time, judging on how the nature of the fight changes. They are now keeping their distance from one another, as opposed to constantly rushing in like before. Odette is the first to step in an attempt to drag the fight out of the stalemate it's reached. She must have put all the meager energy she's recovered into her act. She launches a massive kick at him outside of his blocking range. He manages to avoid it, albeit barely. Following that, his fist connects with Odette's face, or so it seems. Ugh! She uses her forehead to take the brunt of the blow. His expression makes it clear that he's reeling from pain, which Odette takes advantage of by kneeing him straight in the solar plexus. Why even was Alan still here in the first place? I still want to know that. She keeps up a relentless assault following this, not allowing the opportunity to go to waste. I mean, I know he doesn't have a place to stay, but surely he can afford something or, you know, at least go somewhere where he isn't going to be found. We were just drove up and like, hey, let's fight. Each blow is ferocious enough that I'd be knocked out cold after one hit, but he's taking every single one of them. He must have been biding his time while taking the hits, because he finds the right moment to claw at Odette's neck. Ugh! One can't build up muscle in their throat, so the resulting damage is clear. I mean, you can, it's not very effective, but it's possible. He comes to a complete halt for a brief second. And now Alan launches his own attack. While Odette's assault was akin to a wild beast's, Alan is more serene. There's a rhythm to it, almost like a dance. His movements are completely different from before. Not like Odette is simply allowing herself to be attacked either. She isn't dodging or blocking the incoming blows, she's biting at them. The more blood that flows, the harder and deeper she bites. I'm gonna block with my teeth. Just as planned. Okay, Kira. The fight is far from over. Are they just both passed out on the floor? Did we walk back? The streets begin to empty out at about 10 p.m. Meanwhile, Naomi and Maharu are still waiting in front of Lionhouse for Rinka's return. Okay, we're back to these two. It's far more humid at night during June than it is cold. There's no response from Rinka to any messages sent, and phone calls are met with a response that her phone is off. Yeah, you two are going to start panicking. It's getting late, so you should probably go home. Of course, I'm too worried to do that now. I'll make up a good excuse, so it'll be fine. Don't forget that I'm worried about her as well. Miharu silently nods in response. Funny how I need to rely on Rinka after fervently persuading her that I could handle things on my own. She won't mind, you know that. Miharu says nothing in return. She doesn't need to. Her gentle smile is more than enough to reassure Naomi. Yeah, how is this going to affect how things play out? Does this just mean Rinka and Miharu aren't going to be able to talk until election? Which means that Rinka is going to be surprised when Miharu gets voted up. Because Miharu's never going to have a chance to tell her. That would kind of suck, especially if Rinka... Because, I mean, how's Rinka supposed to vote up scale if she doesn't get a chance to get that cause of death card? That's probably why the game is doing this. Things start to wrap up after another 30 minutes. Neither are moving as well as they were before. In fact, they're both so exhausted that even I might be able to outrun them. I'm just going to sneak off. As if the fight wasn't spectacular enough already, it ends with a cross counter of all things. That sounds like... Oh! Nope, looks like Alan might have lost. I can't tell if Alan is out cold or not. His eyes are completely blank. As for Odette, Her eyes are closed, but she has a big grin on her face. I'd have been happy if I got to go out like this. With that said, she lets herself fall unconscious. Oh, maybe she does. Ah, Alan did win. Alan watches as she does so. It's hard to tell what he's thinking. And then he collapses too. Okay, so exactly what I thought. It's a tie. They're both out cold on the floor. Whoa! Who's going to drive me home? I rush over to them both. They're out cold, but they're still breathing. I guess exhaustion has finally forced their bodies to shut down. I'm not too sure if they managed to settle things with this. But what I do know is that Alan was the last to fall unconscious. Odette lost. Oh, okay. All right, I bet on Alan and won. But by a hair. Still, there was nothing settled by this. They just pummeled each other until they passed out. Again, how am I getting home? I'd be the winner here where I had to have a gun on me. But I mean, why did I need to be here? Because the game needed to get you away from Lion's house, I'm pretty sure. I probably have to tend to their wounds now that it's ended like this. Crap, my phone battery died. I end up having to rely on my memory to find the nearest convenience store. I have a feeling we're going to end this video just before election time, and that'll make next video's start really fun. Once I do, I grab a first aid kit, some food, and some water to bring back. The journey there and back takes about an hour. Odette's gone by the time I get back. My ride! She must have left the moment she woke up, despite having no energy whatsoever. She's crazy. Facts. There's one thing I can say for sure, though. That moment when she collapsed is probably the last time I'll see her in the real world. She really was a free spirit. Right till the end. Straight up chaotic neutral. Unlike Odette, someone else is still collapsed on the ground. Is he sleeping? Alan still hasn't come to. Should just go home. It's a 2-hour trip. After I say that, I wipe off Alan's sweat and place a cooling pad on his forehead. He's awake. Then I put another towel under his head as a makeshift pillow. This guy's just as crazy as Odette. His profuse sweating and bright red face worry me. I know what he wants to get out of me, but I just can't bring myself to leave him in this state. Seeing him laid out like this makes him look younger than usual, probably due to his height and build when he's standing. I can't even tell the time since my phone's dead. I can tell that I'm hungry though, so I make my way to a corner of the storehouse to eat the food I picked up. I wonder how people would react if they saw this. I take a moment to consider the fact that I've become anything but a normal person before chowing on my food. That's just it for us? Are we court? Whoa. Alan finds himself dreaming. Ah, we get to find out more about Alan too. That scared me for a minute. I was like, is Maharu peeking on us? How'd she get here? Alan finds himself dreaming. It is the first time he's had a dream unrelated to the Court of Fate in a long time. You're always so reckless, you know that? It is a dream entwined with his past. A past of great importance. That's all we're getting? That's it? That little tidbit? Oh, yikes. You gotta stop saying things in your sleep, guys, or when you wake up and stuff. Like, you gotta check that. You guys keep giving away regret stuff. Amrita? Alan wakes up just as I finish my food. Who's Amrita? Why is my book glowing? The fact that he sits up so quickly surprises me a bit. I'm not quite sure what he was saying, but it sounded like he was calling out to someone. Of course, questioning him about it wouldn't be a smart decision. Oh, it's you. He comes to grips with the situation after noticing the sheet on his forehead and towel under his head. You could have just left me here. Oh, he's got a little smile. Let's see how much of a gentleman he can be. Is he going to be like, well, I won, so give me my information, or, okay, fine, you can go. Not that I think Rinka would really care about giving him the information. Let's just tell him what the card says. It doesn't help him anyway. I was going to leave after I finished eating. Ah, she's smiling too. I meant long before that. I place my trash inside the convenience store plastic bag and then take a bottle of water over to Alan. Did I lose? You were the last to collapse, though only by a few seconds. I can hardly consider it a victory if I don't remember it. Saying that, he takes a deep swig out of the water I just handed to him. When he stands up afterwards, it serves to remind me just how big he actually is. I'm not sure where to take the conversation now. After a bit of deliberation, I come up with a certain proposal. Oh yeah, let's hear this. So hey, you tell me everything you found out about Scale Jones so far, and I'll tell you what's written on his regret card in exchange. There's no immediate response, so I can only assume that he's taken by surprise. Feels like the best option for me, though, especially when Alan and Odette's conversation hinted toward Alan knowing plenty about Scale. I'm not sure if I'll end up electing him myself or not, but it's a fact that he'll come across my own information at some point. Knowing his cause of death will allow me to protect myself should he decide to elect me at the very least. I need to see this protection happen. I haven't watched video 2 in a while where they explained all the rules, but I'm curious what that means. Can you literally just be like, I have my 3 cards, you have your 3 cards, they cancel each other out, tough. How does that play out? We may find out on Sunday. That's why it's best if I get what I can out of Alan now. Very well. Once Alan has finished telling me what he's discovered about Scale, I reveal the contents of his regret card. Gold medal. I feel like there's something that links to his regret in the info Alan told me. Yeah, we have no idea what Scale's cause of death is, even though Maharu knows it plainly, and Alan clearly has an inkling of it, as Rinka probably does as well. No new card seemed to have formed on his end, but I'm sure he'll be able to put the pieces together quickly enough. Alright, I should go. Tomorrow's Sunday, but I'd rather open the store if I can. Yeah, you need to open the store. You need to have a chat with the 2 girls camped outside it. I'm a bit paranoid when my phone's dead, but right now the sheer exhaustion is my biggest issue. What is true strength? Excuse me? Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere. He doesn't respond, so I give up and leave. I'm about half an hour's walk from the closest station. The idea of having to walk the same path back already has me reeling. Okay, so it is a 2-hour drive, but there is a train. All right. We're not completely just left out in the middle of nowhere. It's 1 a.m. Shinjuku may be a major stop in Tokyo, but the last trains don't run much later than this. Meanwhile, Maharu and Naomi are still waiting in front of Lion House for Rinka's return. Okay, at least we get to talk. Let's have a conversation. She's taking her time, isn't she? At this point, I'm more willing to consider that she may be out with a boyfriend or something. It's Saturday after all, and I never did ask if she was dating anyone. Maharu was just going to be like, just don't even start with me. Naomi. Yes? Do us both a favor and shut off the part of your brain that creates those ridiculous thoughts. Can you please be nice to Naomi for like 3 minutes? Naomi feels a chill run down her spine. While it wasn't exactly a joke, she swears not to bring that topic up ever again. At this rate, we're going to have an officer or 2 question while we're here. I'm not quite sure what to do now that we've missed the last train. Granted, now that it's Sunday, it technically doesn't matter what I do if I'm going to be eliminated anyway. Perhaps I'm better off writing a will for Rinka. Maharu! Naomi fails to find the right response to match how deadly serious Maharu seems. We might be able to prevent it. We'll see. It doesn't help that she feels responsible for this situation, too. Maharu could have used the time to possibly find information about Scale had she not suggested relying on Rinka. Those memories may disappear should Maharu be eliminated, though. Even if she gets eliminated, Naomi's just going to keep having her dreamy dreams, because she keeps doing that. Even if they don't vanish completely, they will become far too blurry to recall, more so than even her earliest childhood memories. This even applies to when the 2 of them let their feelings clash. The idea of losing that experience scares her. Don't worry, I'm sure Rinka will be here. Naomi's voice is audibly quivering. Both know her faith is entirely unfounded. Yeah, but she's almost there. She is on the train on the way here, isn't she? We got a conversation we're going to have before election. You really are a crybaby, aren't you? Still, I do feel envious about how honest you can be sometimes. Miharu, you're pretty honest yourself. Actually, no, that's not true. She hides a lot. She's not honest. She's blunt. Maharu feels at peace for reasons she cannot understand. If what she's currently feeling toward Naomi is similar to how Rinka feels, then she might just... Hey, you 2. Whoa! There we go. The sudden voice takes Naomi and Maharu by surprise. Why are you 2 hanging out outside my house at this hour? Why aren't you at your house at this hour? Rinka! Naomi dashes over to Rinka with a second thought. Don't hug her! Don't hug her! Wah! Okay, fall over. That's better. Maharu's like, yes, that's what you deserve. Rather, she attempts to before tripping over her own feet. Allow me to pose a similar question. You weren't engaging in certain activities with a man, were you? Rinka, your girlfriend's getting jealous. Well, I guess I was with a guy for the most part. How'd you know? Huh? Rinka, you know better than to word things like that. Anyway, let's head inside. You two are really waiting for me? Naomi's obviously flustered, while Maharu looks like she's just seen a ghost. And Rinka has no idea what's going on, but she takes them inside the store anyway. Following that, it takes an entire hour for everything to be cleared up. I mean, she was with a man. Whoa, okay, nope, end of video. Hi, Parka. Good evening, my lovely little slaves to fate. And much like the people in this game, another slave to fate is the end of the video, which is always inevitable. So, what did Naomi and Maharu and Rinka talk about? I guess the game doesn't feel like letting us be privy to that information. Until now, until it's actually going to get used. Who is going to do what? There's a lot of possibilities here, and it's going to be interesting. So let's see what happens in the next video. I am excited. I am looking forward to it. It is going to be funsies. I hope you're joining me for it. Make sure you're following the channel. Like, subscribe, smash buttons, all that good stuff. You've heard the spiel before. Take care. I will see you next time.